Wembanyama just finished up an amazing rookie season, 21 points per game, 10 rebounds, led the league in blocks at 3.6. It was great. It was legendary. It was everything I could have expected from the most touted incoming rookie prospect ever.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was more, honestly. I felt like I'm going to give some credit to Devin Vassell, too, because I love me some Devin Vassell. But Absolutely. Victor was the reason I'm tuning into any Spurs game when it came really down to the stretch of it. Mm-hmm. And honestly, I think his improvement over the season, his ability to I think, get more confidence, just that I can do it too in this league type factor. It really showed. Obviously, the points kind of jumped up. The post All-Star, all the stats really jumped up. But even at 7'6", I've been so surprised by how well he passes the ball. Mm-hmm. You know, this is a guy that's probably going to demand double teams down the road. Already demanded some double teams and looks like that. But his ability to find his teammates and also make his teams better is probably the most underrated thing I think about him when it comes to his game.
My favorite thing about young players who have hype is when they live up to it. Mm-hmm. And I think nobody has done that better than LeBron James, obviously. But the hype for him, I wasn't a fan of the hype just because I felt that they made it too high for him to reach. And here he is exceeding the expectations that I thought were just a little too unfair. He came in, he crushed them. And the underrated thing about Victor Wembanyama, because we can sit up here and talk about all of these illustrious things he can do on a basketball floor, it's the timing. When we're at a time right now where LeBron is older, Steph Curry is, 35 or 36, KD is older, a lot of the guys who have given us 15-plus years, it's inevitably that end of the road for them. However we want to slice and dice it, the time is coming. And we had a lot of different questions about what's next. And a lot of us, I know us four up here, certainly, our basketball lives have revolved around these guys. Yep. Like the earliest memories of you being that legitimate hardcore fan, it deals with them. Mm-hmm. In some way, form, or another. I don't care if you even meet some. I've watched basketball my entire life. Steph Curry at Davidson, KD, player of the year as a freshman at Texas, LeBron in 03. Like, they've carried us. And now it's the end of the road. And to have somebody like Vic come in along with all of these other great talents, it's nice to have. It's comforting to know that there's something that's intriguing behind all of this greatness that's going to be exiting sometime soon.
I just think it's amazing that he kind of put all the haters to bed, too. Like, a lot of people was just saying he's just ball. And he came out and showed you that there's levels to this. I'm like 10 steps above ball. Yeah. And, like, I'm a generational talent. I just think he got drafted to the right franchise, too. Mm-hmm. He got drafted to such a prestigious franchise who was great at developing talent. And they've shown you throughout the year that they are very good at managing his minutes, managing how much he's playing. They've even rested him some games. I know it's a rookie and that stuff seems a little cliche and it's not something that you would want. But, like, who cares? I think I trust the Spurs and Greg Popovich and that organization in order to do what's right for them.
My favorite thing about Wemby's season, there's a lot of moments. Every game there was something that happened with Wemby, was when they played against the Sacramento Kings and he was 1 assist away from a 5x5. And I remember watching that in Discord where I think us three, and I'm like, they just won't give the ball to him so he could get that assist. And then 2 days later, his very next game, he got the 5x5. And I'm like, he's going to break every 5x5 record imaginable because we haven't seen a guy that could wake up with 5 blocks and his arms long enough to be in the passing lane for 5 steals. He might have really got more than 1 5x5, but the way they count blocks and steals can be kind of iffy. They'll count it as a block, but maybe it was a steal. They count it as a steal when it may have been a block. He was everything I could have imagined.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It is interesting, though. Last year, the Spurs won a total of 22 games. This year, they added the best rookie prospect ever, and they won a total of 22 games. Like they were exactly the same record-wise, but we did see great progress. You mentioned Devin Vassell earlier in the episode, in this, and it was perfect.
Listen to this. Mm-hmm. Since the All-Star break, Victor Wembanyama alone is averaging more blocks per game than 9 NBA teams. Yeah. He averages 4.4 blocks per game. Yeah. That is more than the Blazers.
Makes sense.
The Bulls.
Definitely
Miami Heat.
Wow.
Charlotte Hornets. New Orleans Pelicans. Detroit Pistons. Washington Wizards. Cleveland Cavaliers. And the Toronto Raptors.
Over the Cavs is interesting.
I'm very surprised about the Cavs.
Like, they got 2 Twin Towers down there, and I expect them to get more than 4 blocks a game. Dang.
And they say this is absolutely crazy considering he is only playing 32.5 minutes per game versus 48 minutes for most teams, obviously. And he's still a rookie.
And next year, he's only going to get better, and those minutes are going to increase. So the production that you're seeing now, you're going to see that just increase significantly next season with the more minutes, especially if they go into this offseason and they build around him and they get him a true point guard. I know they tried with Jeremy Sohan in the beginning. Then they switched that to Trey Jones, and it worked a little bit better, looked a little bit more fluent. But get him a true, real point guard, and it's going to be nasty.
Outside of Trae Young, who do y'all want them to go get?
Trey Jones will be a good candidate. Anthony Simons would also be.
Trey Jones is on the team.
I didn't mean Trey Jones.
His brother Tyus?
I meant Tyus Jones.
Me and P looked at each other like.
I meant Tyus Jones.
Okay.
Or Anthony Simons would even be a good fit. I think Anthony Simons would be a really good fit.
Okay.
Those are probably the top two for me. Or D'Angelo Russell. D'Angelo Russell would be
D'Angelo
a free agent
Russell,
as well.
I think would be a good option for him as well.
Okay.
I don't have, for me, I really just want some good basketball players.
It don't have to be a guard. Don't have to be a point guard.
Like, obviously, that's the dream case for all of us, is to go out there and get a guard. Yeah, I would love Anthony Simons, D'Angelo Russell, Trae Young. Hell, give him Malcolm Brogdon for 35 games of the season. Just somebody who has some type of high IQ and intelligence on the floor. But I just think if you put good basketball players around Vic, high-level guys with some experience who can make shots and guard guys, I really think he'll do the rest for you. I think the next season of Vic will not be what we're used to, where it's like, man, somebody got to give him the ball. Next year, we would love to have somebody give him the ball. Trust me, he's gonna find a way to get himself that ball.
Vic is gonna be a thing.
He's gonna find a way.
I'm seeing it.
Man,
Trust him,
7'6" handling.
Trust and believe
man,
when I
that's gonna
say
be crazy.
He can
will-
do whatever he want on the court.
Yeah. He's not going to be somebody that we like, why ain't they giving him the ball? He's going to take things in his own hands. Next year is going to be year 3 Vic.
Yeah.
People going to think I'm going to start saying that so much, people going to think that I can't count. Man, great rookie year. His third year going to be amazing. They like, damn, he just skipped his whole second. No, he's in year 3. Trust me.
His
I'm gonna
second
keep saying
year
it.
was in the second half of the NBA season during his rookie season.
So the real rookie of the year is Chet.
Yeah. Really, yeah. Vic
It's
won.
crazy how much of a gap it was between Vic and Chet. Like,
And Chet was spectacular.
so good, but it was like, there's no way it's not Vic's award.
For a few months, it was like, oh, Chet is making it real interesting, and then it was over.
Then it was
with.
just that's when you're a sophomore.
You know who you did name?
Sophomore year.
Who you did name?
Who?
Damian Lillard.
Oh,
That would be ridiculous.
The Kings just hired a new head. I mean, the Nets just hired a new head coach, man.
Yes, they did.
Jordy Fernandez from the Brooklyn Nets.
okay.
Love to see fresh blood get a chance in the NBA, man.
About time.
Love to see it. You let us know down below, how good can Victor Wembanyama get? Real quick, could he be the best player in basketball?
Yes, he can.
Yes, yes, yes. Next year, could he be top 10?
Can he be? Yes, he can.
Yeah.
But that dude in Dallas gonna give him a run for his money, even though he about 12 inches smaller.
Hey, don't matter the size. It matter what you're packing in that size.
That's a very good cue to just